told you Hollywood has no idea they're doing, what they're doing, when they're doing, who they're doing, or who's doing what for the whats. I am Mecca. Who wrote this? I don't know. Did Katie Kilkenny write it, or did she type it into the chat GPT? We will never know. We don't know actual numbers of anything. We don't know how many people are real, how many people are fake, how many people are not, how many people are made up, how many people are imaginary, how many people are literally just engagement, online engagement. It's all about engagement. And Kathleen Kennedy said so. She only cares about how much engagement Obi-Wan gets for numbers. That's just how many people interact with it and talk about it. Doesn't matter if it's good or not. I mean, Writers Guild committee member John August discloses AI investment and faces scrutiny. So they're investing money in software.
I don't get it.
Chat GPT powered tool studio, right? His software company has invested in the Chat GPT powered tool studio. So they're all using it. The writers are going to get exactly what they deserve, which is nothing, if they keep using tools like this. Probably. Is that what the studios are thinking?
I am in full support. I know most people are in full support of the writers getting what they deserve.
Or is this just another tool, like an editing thing? Because here's the thing, I never have any use for ChatGPT because I never know what the crap I'm talking about at any given moment until I start blabbing and opening my mouth and start having my lips flap, right? And that's all that ends up happening. I usually don't know what I'm talking about. I usually just kind of go because it's like the automatic handwriting of speaking.
There's a bunch of apps and programs you can subscribe to that use OpenAI to do all your writing for you.
Writers Guild of America negotiating committee member John August has publicly disclosed his company's investment in artificial intelligence-powered writing tool and is facing some member blowback as the Writers Guild of America is seeking to regulate the use of technology in its current negotiations. And this is what Kathleen Kennedy was talking about in that thing we've been talking about a million times over here.
Chat GPT, dude.
This is really, really concerning to me. And this is why I think that all of these movies have been so bad for a while. A lot of these writers are getting lazy and they're kind of taking the shortcuts. They're using the copy and paste. I was kind of thinking that this is no different than when you'd see like the video essay people who would just go out and copy video essays of people, like verbatim. You would see some of that. Right? For back in the day. You would see those type of people. And that's what this feels like. This feels like they're going in and copy and pasting a bunch of stuff together. And that's why it feels so familiar to me. Because I tend to remember things that I shouldn't and not things that I should. So I'll remember weird random crap that I cannot stand for years and years and years and years and years. Like little things that annoy me. Like bad movies, for example. Or what's even worse than that is like the ones that just go in one ear and out the other. Because they're just so average, mediocre, nothing, blah, right? Who's to blame for Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker? Hurt more than anything in the prequels. So is this going to be something I think...
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie.
I think somebody at Screen Rant is in one person's camp and somebody at Variety is in another person's camp. So one is going to blame Bob Iger and one is going to blame Kathleen Kennedy, not in print verbatim, but we have to figure out who is responsible for Palpatine. Do you remember who was responsible for Palpatine?
It was JJ, wasn't it?
It was JJ.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're throwing JJ under the bus. Here, I thought one of them was JJ. You think so?
Feel, don't think.
That's what I want to know, because they went with like first drafts of some of these. Of Last Jedi, anyway. This is what Kathleen Kennedy's talking about. They want to know what kind of technology these people are using. They want to know, literally, like that's what she's talking about.
Of the writers getting what they deserve. And I think what's the meta issue here is...
She doesn't know the difference between meta and all this other stuff. But here you go. Purpose to generate early drafts, perform revisions, offer synonyms and word suggestions for writers. Yeah, she's talking about all of this, I think, because she doesn't understand. It's like an old person trying to understand how to get into their email, and I think she's trying to figure out how much of this that the writers are using in placement of writing something. So the studios, I think, are trying to say that the writers aren't writing anything, and the writers are like, some of these people are not writing anything. How do we, is that kind of a fair assessment?
Yeah.
I don't want to take sides in either thing of this because I don't know how much of the studio. I don't want to take sides of the studios because they're a-holes. The studios have been giving us nothing but garbage and calling us all istophobes.
It's in the midst of change, both technologically and just the basic aspects of how we work. And that's going to take time. And I think that's what everybody's getting ready for, is to take the time that's necessary to try to make sure that everybody can articulate what those feelings are and try to arrive at a resolution.
What's up?
From sci-fi.com, according to Chris Terrio, who wrote Rise of Skywalker with J.J. Abrams, this plot point with Palpatine returning came from on high at Lucasfilm. According to Ian McDermott, Lucas told him that Palpatine was dead. Mm-hmm. What changed? Well, Lucasfilm changed hands over from Lucas's control to Disney and the managerial purview of President Kathleen Kennedy and Senior VP of President Michelle Redjuan. Two executives and producers that Terrio, in an interview with Awards Daily, credits with shaping the end of the Star Wars saga. Kathy Kennedy and Michelle Redjuan had a clear plan for where they wanted things to end. Terrio said they had clear plans about certain narrative marks they wanted us to hit. When asked if that involved the return of Palpatine, who ends up having intense plot significance, Terrio demurred. Well, I can't speak to Kathy's overall intent, the screenwriter couched. That was certainly discussed, and was discussed before I ever came on. Kathy had this overall vision that we had to be telling the same story for 9 episodes. So if Terrio didn't come up with the idea, who did? Co-writer, director, J.J. Abrams? It seems like as if Abrams and Terrio would know, since Abrams brought him on board to the project and co-wrote the script with him. So this is he's trying not to blame her directly. Well, she was involved. I'm not saying it was her idea, but she was involved. I have no doubt.
She didn't realize that he got thrown down the thing, right? She didn't see Return of the Jedi probably in 40 years.
I doubt it. I doubt she's even seen it at all.
She doesn't care about Star Wars. She cares more about Indiana Jones.
Like I said, her favorite movie is Dr. Zhivago. Which, listen, it's a great movie. But doesn't really have anything to do with making Star Wars. Dr. Zhivago, like I said, great movie. Omar Sharif, fantastic. But it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison. Every bad idea comes from Kathleen Kennedy, really.
Like deconstructing the Jedi.
That's right. I'm going to deconstruct the Jedi.
This is our part 3 of Kathleen Kennedy and her bad ideas. Oh, for crying out loud.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So somebody's really trying to paint her. I don't think she's going to go anywhere, though. She can't go anywhere. She's too
far entrenched.
She's too important, figuratively, even. Just as she's like the Queen of England, even if she didn't do anything and has no power over anything and can't hurt anything. I think no matter what, they don't, there's too many people who are going to support her regardless, just because she was like the woman being like the equal to the men back in a time when it was important to do that,
She's a woman. She's a successful woman. So she has her past accomplishments to sit on, phrasing, but she's not successful in terms of being a creative at all. Every creative decision she's made, it has backfired on her spectacularly. It's like
she's making movies for herself and not for the general audience.
Well, what if the hero got the dog instead of the girl?
See, you can do a troll job on somebody if you're like me, if you're a little YouTube channel and stuff, you know. But like every single thing she's doing is like she's trying to just be like Dylan going electric every single album, right? Every single concert and every single movie, basically.
Well, now
she's trying to do like, oh, what if Indy gets the dog every single movie? What if Luke Skywalker dies? What if Indiana Jones is replaced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge? And
well, now she desperately wants to be right. She's, you know, there's such a thing. Would you rather be certain or right? She's absolutely, actually, let's scratch that. She's certain.
She's certain she's right.
She's absolutely certain that this is that this is going to work.
Speaking of Kathleen Kennedy needing to be right and being sure she's right, this just came in this morning 4 hours ago. She was so right about Indiana Jones that she premiered it at Cannes and it backfired. Oh, somebody does not like her at Screen Rant. What did I say yesterday? Who are you? Why are you here again?
I'm Rob off camera.
Again, while we're sitting here editing, I'm like, wait a minute. I have this article exactly where we're dropping this in because this came in. Disney's Indiana Jones 5 release strategy backfired on Rotten Tomatoes. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny premiered at Cannes, and it backfired in a big way, giving it an early negative Rotten Tomatoes score.
This is one person who was certain rather than right. She thought this is gonna be the big feather in her cap. This was gonna prove that what she was doing has been right all along, and it exploded in her face.
Oh, she did it because
she pulled an Elmer Fudd on this one.
Monkey! Who did that?
She did it because Top Gun premiered last year, and that did well.
Yep.
You know why that did well?
Because it's a good movie that people wanted to see.
Well, it didn't have Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it, nagging.
I still haven't seen it. I can't personally attest if it's a good movie.
I'm discrediting myself and going by what my viewers have said, and everybody I've heard talk about it who has seen it has liked it.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have any of this garbage. It doesn't have this, you're just a toxic old white dude, and I'm perfect because I'm the Mary Sue woman.
I'm resourceful.
Resourceful, daring, beautiful.
Well, I'm beautiful, I'm resourceful, intelligent. You're just a white man.
But I haven't seen Maverick, so I don't know if it has it in there. I'm assuming it doesn't because nobody has said anything negatively about it.
No.
Or it's just, it has it and it's been marketed like that. They had the right bots out on the Maverick side, but you know, the people who are people that I know are people have said it's good.
The people who are people who know people, and they're the luckiest people.
I know. Oh, why Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny can still get a fresh Rotten Tomatoes score because they're gonna bot it probably. They're gonna review bomb it up the other way around. They're gonna get a whole bunch of people who, and whether it's people or marketing accounts, they're gonna get the sympathizers who are gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go see it to spite you, or I'm going to cheer and I'm gonna give it a positive score to spite you.
Well, Screen Rant is desperately trying to pull a win from the jaws of victory here. I mean, from the jaws of defeat, rather.
Oh, I thought they were throwing her under the bus.
Well,
they're in somebody's corner.
Yeah.
But this is a backfire. Oh,
Yeah,
but it's a backfire in a good way.
Yeah.
It's rotten, but it's a good thing.
It's a good rotten.
Well, we're back to this. Remember when they were doing that with Solo, a Star Wars story? It was Screen Rant, too. They were saying, why Solo lost money, and that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not a good thing. So, yes, she's so sure she's right that she threw Indiana Jones to the Cannes wolves, and it splatted all over her. Mm-hmm. Back to the rest of the video.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's like no, I'm sure it's gonna work. I'm sure it's gonna work this time. Nope.
No.
Nope. She's certain it's going to work this time. It's not going to. It hasn't worked. You know, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Well, I'm making the same video over and over again, it feels like, with her. But every day, it's like a new thing anymore today. It's like, oh, and now she did this, and now they did that, and now I can, now I can link this back to her, too. Every article.
It's just a never-ending, inexhaustible well of stupid with her. No, think about no, really.
I hate being mean, but
really, look at all the bad decisions she made. Okay, she got rid of the EU. Okay, that should have been a warning.
She's ruined one of the most profitable franchises in
under a decade.
In under a decade, yeah. Galactic Starcruiser, that's out of business.
$2 billion for the Galactic Starcruiser. She was the one that said, no, make everything based on the sequel trilogy. She's the one that brought Lord and Miller on board.
She's fired more people. Here, take it.
Well, you know what? In the long run, she would have been better. They would have been better sitting on these properties, re-releasing them every few years, re-releasing new toys rather than what we got now. Toys nobody's buying, toys nobody likes, characters nobody likes, movies nobody goes to see.
Yes, of course. Fade out.
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
You can't stop me, I'm a Jedi from Jakku.